I'm Katie Sewell, and this is A Bittersweet Moment with Tiffany Parks. Hello, and welcome to The Bittersweet Life. I'm Tiffany Parks, and this is your midweek Bittersweet Moment. We had a lot of fun on Monday's episode talking about English words that are used in Italian wrongly. That wasn't the main topic of the episode, and you'll know if you've listened. We talk specifically about a new proposed law in Italy that will make it sanctionable by up to 100,000 euros to use English words or any foreign words in official Italian government communications and documents. So that's interesting. And if you want to hear us talk a little bit about that controversy and talk about language laws more in general, you can check out Monday's episode. But what we did at the end of the episode was I quizzed Katie on some English words that Italians very commonly use, but specifically words that they use in a totally different way with a totally different meaning. And I was thinking about it, and actually there are maybe not quite as many, but several Italian words that we, at least in the United States, use in everyday English, and they don't mean what the Italian words mean either. So I guess we are just as guilty of this language butchering as the Italians are. So I thought I would go through a few of those words today. You can maybe quiz yourself as we go along and see if you knew the true meaning of these Italian words. Now, probably the most common, a word that, I would guess almost every single one of us has used, particularly when we were children, is the word pepperoni. And I'm saying this with the American accent, just as when I was talking with Katie about those English words used in Italian, I said them in an Italian accent. Lo smoking, for example. So pepperoni. Most people in the States anyway would consider pepperoni to be a type of spicy salami that you find on pizza. And there is no such thing as pepperoni salami in Italy. And the word pepperoni with one P, P-E-P-E-R, not P-E-P-P-E-R, it means peppers. Pepperoni is peppers, plural. Pepperone is a pepper, and I mean a bell pepper, generally. Although, of course, I'm sure there are distinctions between the different peppers, and they're all called pepperone, the vegetable pepper. So if you ask for pizza with pepperoni on it, the server in Italy will naturally assume that you mean peppers. So be careful if you're looking for pizza with spicy salami on it. I think you need to ask for the al diavolo pizza, which does have spicy salami, but it is not the kind that you get in the States. It's the very small kind. It's much bigger, just so you know. Another extremely common one, probably these days even more common than pepperoni, is the word latte or latte. I'm going to go to the coffee shop and get myself a latte, which of course is caffè latte, and that is an espresso, a shot or two of espresso in a large cup of milk. If you go to Italy and you ask for a latte, they are going to bring you a glass of milk. So latte is simply the word for milk. So don't go into an Italian coffee shop and order a latte unless you feel like having a glass of milk. Another one that's maybe not quite so blaringly incorrect, but technically it's not right, is the word piano. Piano, I should say, piano, the English pronunciation, piano. So the word piano means soft or slow in Italian. If you want to talk about the instrument, it's pianoforte, which literally means soft loud. Because when the piano was invented, it was kind of revolutionary because it could make such loud and such soft sounds at the same time. Whereas up until that point, keyboard instruments did not have that kind of capacity for loud and soft. So they literally called it the soft loud, the pianoforte. So piano literally means soft. Although people do, I don't know if it's a more recent thing, but people do refer to the instrument as the piano. They're starting to, but the correct term is pianoforte. Another one is gusto, with gusto. She was so enthusiastic. She really played that song with gusto. I think this means with enthusiasm or with spirit. But the word gusto actually means taste. So it could be the taste, the flavor of something, but it can also be someone who has good taste. But it refers to taste, not enthusiasm. Now, going back to food, another one that is, both of these are not truly incorrect. They do mean what the Italian word means, but they're used wrongly. And the first word is panini. I'm going to go get a panini at the Italian deli. It's panino. If you want one sandwich, it's a panino. If you want two sandwiches, it's two panini, because, of course, the I makes it plural. So the actual word for a sandwich is panino. There are many different types of Italian sandwiches. So a panino is specifically a sandwich on a roll, not on actual sliced bread. That would be a tramezzino. And another one that's similar to this is zucchini. Zucchini. I love zucchini. I actually love zucchini too. And I can't stop myself from saying zucchini, but actually it's zucchine. It's supposed to have an E on the end. One zucchini is a zucchina, and two is a zucchine. And everybody laughs at me. My mother-in-law makes fun of me. My son makes fun of me because I can't stop myself from saying zucchini. Even if I'm speaking Italian, it just comes out because of decades of conditioning. So, what can I say? I do think at a certain point, words are adopted, and I don't necessarily think it's wrong to say zucchini if you're speaking English. Obviously, if you're speaking Italian, you have to say zucchine. So I do make that mistake. But technically, it's a feminine word, so needs the E to make it plural in the feminine. And my final food-related word that Americans get wrong is, of course, the famous bologna. We not only mispronounce it because it's spelled Bologna, and that's how it's pronounced in Italian. If you wanted to say Bologna, I suppose that would be even better than saying bologna, because I don't know how they get bologna from Bologna. But I'm going to admit, I was a huge fan of bologna when I was a little girl. It was one of the only things that I would eat. Bologna sandwiches. I know, it's embarrassing, but it's true. I suppose that Americans call it Bologna because it is associated with the city of Bologna in Italy, which is the capital of the Emilia-Romagna region, a region that is famous for its different types of cured meat, of which bologna supposedly is one. It's actually based on mortadella. Mortadella is what bologna actually is here in Italy, although it's a little bit different. They have some stuff in it. I think they have like little bits of pistachios. There's another word that we pronounce it wrong. We don't get the meaning wrong, but it's pistachio. So there are little bits of little green nuts in there, which I think just makes it even less appealing. But hey, they like it up there in Bologna. And so I suppose this is why we call it bologna, but technically it's called mortadella. Another, I suppose this could also be in the food category, kind of, confetti. Everybody likes some confetti, around New Year's Eve time. But confetti, or confetti, as you would call them in Italy, they're actually not little pieces of paper that you throw. Confetti are sugared almonds that you give at weddings and at other important ceremonies, baptisms, first communions, etc. You give little sachets of white sugared almonds. They're very, very, very traditional here in Italy. And those are confetti. If you want to talk about the little pieces of paper that you get to throw, those are coriandoli, which is also the name of a spice, but I'm not going to, I digress. And last but not least, bimbo. What a bimbo. I ran into this woman on the street and man, she was such a bimbo. Anyway, it's not pronounced bimbo, of course. In Italian, it's bimbo, and it means baby or very small child. And it's masculine. You would never call a little girl a bimbo. A little girl is a bimba. But there you have it. Those are 9 Italian words that we totally misuse in English. Let me know if you can think of any others. You can always write to us at bittersweetlifepodcast@gmail.com. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.